download. There it is. Okay, follow the particular link, Nitin. I think you don't need
Okay.
to go for the GitHub. It will
Okay.
directly install your machine. I sent you. Okay, wait for a while, Nitin. I sent you the link.
Yes,
You
yes,
just
I
go
got
through
it.
the link. Yeah, go through the
Got
link
it.
and
Got it.
you can download it. Okay, so now audience, I'm going to the last module of the book and last module of our course. And yeah, so audience, are you there with me? Ashish is there. Anyone else? Uday is yes. Hemant is yes. Nitin is also there. It's okay. And what about others? Anil, Subramania, Soumya. Okay, Anil is there. So,
Yes, yeah, I am here.
okay, sounds good. So, without wasting time, we have very limited time now available. So, last module, monitoring. Let's see what is there. So, in this lesson, in this module, we have 5 lessons to do. Module 11, lab and review for lesson 5. Lesson 4 is Network Watcher. Lesson 3 is Log Analytics. Lesson 2 is Azure Alerts. And Lesson 1 is Azure Monitor. Let's see. In Azure Monitor, we are going to discuss Monitor Service, what it is, Data Platform, Data Type, Azure Advisor, and Activity Log. Okay. So Azure Monitor Service. Azure Monitoring Service. Okay. Uh, the good option is just I have to go to the portal and show you the monitor service without going to the slide, because slide makes us confused actually. Few options is there: visualize, analyze, respond. So how it is? Let me go to the portal. Audience, with everyone whoever have an account in the Azure, they have a option called monitor. This is a monitor service, you can say. So when you open the monitor service, you have few options like activity log. You can create the alert. You can see the matrix. Okay, there is a logs also. Logs is using for the analytical purpose, but log is something different. For log, getting the information from the log, we need to enable another service called analytics workspace. Okay, that we will discuss soon. So if I go to the activity log, I can see all the basic activities that I have done, like creation, deletion, modification to the resources, everything, the basic informations we can find from the activity log, like list storage account keys, some kind of activity I have done, I have done audit policy action, okay, create an update disk. So these are the actions happen with my account. Maybe I have done it, or maybe I have scheduled it. It has been done automatically. So whatever the reason, these activities has done from my account. So basic information you can get it. Just you have to expand it of all informations. You can have the little bit in detail information, you can get it. But I'm not saying that you will get all information or in detail information. No. Okay. For getting the in detail information, you have to configure analytical workspace that we will discuss later. So this is the activity log where you can find all activities that you have done or you have scheduled somehow that is automatically happening. So all those activity information you can find out from the single console, and you can say that who have been initiated the event. That information is also present here. Got it? Now alert. Alert is something through which you can create an alert. Let's say you are creating alert for any kind of administrative rules. Like for example, if I create an alert rule here, so choose your target. This is the location. This is the target service for which the alert will generate. Okay. Let's say I will create an alert for uh, app service slot. We have app configuration API. Okay, let me choose something very simple. Application gateway. Okay, I think I do have an application gateway, right? Yeah. So I will create an alert for application gateway. This is my target. Now condition. Target I have chosen, but why alert will generate? What is the activity that I have to monitor to create an alert? Okay. So all the attributes, all the signal name related with the application gateway. So if anything happen, failed, that request is coming but failed request has been failed, or total request something, healthy host count. So these are the different metrics available based on which you can create the alert. Okay. You can say failed request. Any kind of failed request happen. Okay. You just select it. What happened? Okay. Operator greater than threshold value. Let's say 20. So if fail request is greater than 20, then it will create an alert message. Maybe that as per your previous experience, that your web application is providing more or less 20 fail message, or maybe something is happened wrong from the client end, so they are getting the fail request and all those stuff. So you just made a value, you just made a condition that if the fail request is more than 20, I will create a alert. Okay. Condition preview, you can say that aggregate granularity every 5 minutes or something else. Like every 5 minutes, if fail request more than 20, then it will create an alert. Or you can say other thing like every 30 minutes. Frequency of evaluation, when it is checking how many fail request has been there in the application gateway. So you can check the evaluation every 1 minute, every 5 minutes, let's say. So depends on your choice. Okay. Something which is static, you have mentioned the threshold, or you can choose the dynamic one. Okay. So choice is yours. Yeah. So you have made the condition. See, when I made the condition, it is cost me about $0.110. Okay, per month. So anyway, no problem. So when I made the action, conditions, I have to provide the action audience. Action means, okay, I know what is my target. Based on the target service, alert will generate. I have also set the condition. If that condition appear, then alert will generate. That's okay. But if alert generate, what kind of action it will do? Right. So you have to create an action group. When you create an action group, in the form of action, we have many options available. See, We can run an automation runbook. We can start or trigger some Azure function. We can send the email to the resource manager role who have the resource manager role present. That user will get the email. By default, the global administrator will get the email. You can send specifically an email to the higher authority if you wish. You can start ITSM, IT service management, like ticketing kind of in any application which is present or integrated with your system that provide the ticketing concepts. Okay, that you can trigger, or logic app, secure webhook. Those things you can do as a form of action, right? So let's say for demonstration, I can choose email, provide the name. Okay, so let me put my name just only. uh, Sujit underscore ry @hotmail.com. Okay, and action one, and action group name is action group underscore one, like this. AG1, short name it is. So action group has created. Now there is the option called severity level. You can say, mention that, okay, if request has been failed more than 20, then what is the impact of it? That you can mention in the severity level. So if you say that my severity level, my customized severity level is 4, that means it is higher severity level. So when the authority is getting the email, that email will show the severity, or the importance of this mail is very much high. Okay, so you can make manually, you can choose my this problem severity level is 4. Got it? Now you can mention the rule, like mm, web application firewall rule, like application firewall alert rule 1. So now I'm creating the rule. So this is called alert creation process. So when you create the alert, you have to mention the service for which the alert will generate. You have to mention the condition why alert will generate, and finally you have to make the action, that if alert generate, what will happen. So I mentioned that my higher authority will get an email due to this, and you also mention the severity level, that how much severe it is. Is it very less severe, it is very high severe? That you can mention into the severity level. Okay, this is called alert message or alerting. You can use these alert rules for any kind of service that you have configured in your infrastructure. Not only web application, for any service you can generate the alert rules. Now we have another thing in in monitor, that is called matrix. Matrix will give you real-time information about your infrastructure. Obviously you have to mention your scope. Scope means you can mention your specific service, or you can mention entire subscription, whatever your choice is. So let's say, let me go to the Azure Pass subscription, and then you can find your resource group, and you can specifically find out some services that you need to check in the matrix. Let's say I will choose VPN. Where is broad application gateway? So I need to check this one. So my scope is broad application gateway 1, matrix name, application gateway, it's okay. Now the matrix. what information I need to see. Since it is a gateway, so basically we can see that how much bytes come in, how much bytes go out. So this kind of chart, if I want to see, you have to choose the proper matrix that will give you that information. For example, byte sent. So there is some kind of curve you can find in the output. So you can save this matrix for your future purpose, or you can add some other matrix along with the byte sent. If you wish, you can add some other matrix and you can have the data in the same matrix chart. So you can save it and you can use it for your future purpose. Like in future, if you want to compare with the future status with today's status, you can use this particular chart, right? So by this way, matrix will give you the real-time activity of a particular service and based on particular matrix. One service always come up with different matrix that you can choose here. Got it? So this is called matrix. Now logs, as I told you, the logs is the area where you can do some analyzing. The analyzing based on some data sources. Data sources, you will add it. I will just show you that how to open a log. So when you open a log, this is a log console where you can run some query. But there is no query information available because I don't have any workspace, OMS workspace or log analytics workspace available now. So first of all, I have to create that and then I can show you how to run a query or something else, right? Now let me go to the slide. So using monitor service, you can analyze your information. You can go inside to any kind of services that you have started. Okay, you can search your log and run the query. You can generate the alert. Okay, and based on the alert, you can start some backend services like automation runbook or something. Okay, you can integrate event hub, logic apps. So these are the uh, services that also you can integrate with your monitoring service. Okay, so monitor can monitor everything. It monitor your operating system, VM operating system, application, your subscription, everything it can monitor. Okay, key capabilities, we have a visualize matrix area that we have seen, the graphical chart. We can analyze the logs by enable the log analytic workspace, and we can create the alert also that we have seen few minutes back, right? Monitoring data platform, you can create the alert. Sorry, you can see the matrix based on a specific resource. That could be a service, that could be resource group, that could be subscription also. And you can choose multiple metrics to see the chart, and you can save the chart or you can share the chart for your future perspective. Okay, log data, as I told you, the log data will check and analyze your informations and data that you have been stored inside the repository, but that repository will be created first. Otherwise, if you do not create that repository, then you cannot get any data there. Azure Advisor. Azure Advisor, it is just a recommendation console where you can find different recommendation based on this particular key point: availability, security, performance, operational excellence, and cost. So any deployment that you have done is not providing or not fulfill the best practices of Microsoft, then you can get a recommendation. And Microsoft is finding the best practices based on these heads: high availability, security, performance, operational excellence, those things. Okay, so anything, any resource which is you are not using since very long, okay, and there is a way to save your cost, you can get a cost related recommendations or advisor. Okay, so if you wish, you can fulfill the advice and you can make it um, uh, non-advised resource. So whatever your advisor is saying, if you fulfill it, you will actually follow the best practice that has been designed by Microsoft Azure. Okay, so where it is, if I go to my portal, Just write advisor. See, there is a cost related advisor, security, high availability related advisor, and there is a medium impact. So if you do not follow this advice, then probably your environment is getting impacted, but not in very high, but medium. So cost wise, I'm getting a impact. So I could save 5,311 rupees per year if I fulfill this recommendation. So if I let me go inside it, and it is saying that delete public address not associated to running the Azure resources. So maybe there is a one public IP, okay, that is draining my cost unnecessarily. I have used, but it is not yet associated with any resources. So I am getting a recommendation for the cost. Same way, if I go to the high availability, I have another recommendation related with the same. Okay. So all the recommendation, there is a four recommendation, but all are medium impacted. Upgrade the standard disk attached to the premium scalable VM. Okay. Enable virtual machine replication to protect your application from regional outage. Add at least one more endpoint to the profile. So these are the different recommendation I am getting based on the high availability. So if I fulfill this, that would follow the best practice scenarios. Otherwise, it is not impacting to your environment at all. It is not stop you to do anything with your environment. Okay. So that is your choice. Either you fulfill the recommendations or not. Sometimes recommendation is give you the information which is not applicable for your company. Maybe your company have some different mindset. They are using this product in a different way, so you don't have to follow this one, but advisor give you the best practice related informations. Activity log, as I told you, the activity log is the logging area where all your activity primarily logging. Whatever you are doing, anything you are modifying, anything you are creating, anything you are getting fail, okay, everything will be there in the activity log. So by going to the activity log, you can find more details there. Means what type of activity you have done, why you are getting the error message. Those basic information you can get it from there. Azure Alert, we have already configured the alert. So Azure Alert will allow you to generate some notifications against an activity if anyone have done with your infrastructure, right? So you can create the alert based on your resources, based on resource group. You made the condition why alert will generate, and also you made the action if alert generate, what will happen. You have to mention the severity level, if how much severe it is, the alert is. To make it understand, you have to define the severity level. So since if you go with the severe level 4 or 0, that would be higher severe. So you can ask your higher authority to solve the issue as soon as possible. So depends. Creating the alert rules, so you have to find out the scope or target, then make the conditions why it is, why alert will generate, and then mention the action group. Action group, when you define the action group, what type of service you want to start as a form of action group, that also you have to mention here. I mentioned email, so you can mention anything that you have already configured. Log analytics. Audience, log analytics is a OMS workspace. It is not only monitor your Azure infrastructure, it can monitor your on-premises also. So before we go to the slide and discuss the theory part, let me go to the portal and configure the log analytics. Okay. Log analytics workspace. This workspace is a OMS workspace. The primary function of OMS workspace to monitor your infrastructure and store the in detail information about your infrastructure. So previously we were using SCOM, System Center Operation Manager in on-prem. So SCOM can also be monitor your Azure environment, but later Azure has introduced this log analytics workspace. So this is the same function that SCOM is doing, but in a different way actually. Okay, so it is creating a storage, the log analytics workspace storage, you can say. First of all, I have to provide the resource group name. Okay, let me choose the Azure pass here, ISPRG, name, OMS workspace. This name is already used, so OMS workspace 123 like this. Prod env, I think that would work. Prod OMS workspace. Yeah, prod OMS workspace 123. Region, choose your region where you can find some data. Pricing tier, you can go to the pricing tier. Pay as you go. Uh, Pay as you go per GB wise, it will be deducting. Okay. So the amount of data you are storing here, the price will be getting increased. Anyway, let me open it. Let me create it. Create this one. So when the deployment is running, and maybe it is taking time to create. Okay, done. So when you create the OMS workspace, there is the option connect a data source. You can connect Azure Virtual Machine. You can connect Azure Activity Log or any other resource you can choose. Okay. So if you click it here in other resource, so in other resource, you have a Windows Server, Linux Server, Azure Storage, System Center that is based on your on-prem. If you have any other data sources available, that also you can choose computer group. Okay. So these are the informations you have in the other sources. So now what we can do, we can connect Azure Virtual Machine, that we can do so. So if I have this virtual machine available, I can connect it. There is an option. And if you click on connect, it will take time. See, connecting the machines.
It will add an agent, right, in the VM?
Yes, absolutely. It is pushing the agent to the virtual machine. so that the not only virtual machine, if anything happen inside the virtual machine, like OS related informations, if you want to fetch that also, you can get it using this particular analytics workspace. So it is an agent based tool. It's true that analytical workspace is an agent based tool. It will push the agent to the particular location, the location you want to add with it. Okay, so it is now connecting. Let it be connect. We can go to the slide. So log analytics, creating the workspace, connect the sources, data sources, and query the query using the syntaxes. Let's see. So log analytics is a OMS workspace, which is a agent-based solutions, which will monitor and get the information about your service, about your on-prem data center, and using a query, you can find it out. The query is very much strong enough than other query. It is looks like your SQL query. There is a joining, there is a particular filter option available. Okay, so we have to run a query in a proper way so that we can find out the multiple details in a single output. Okay, so that is called log analytics. When you create a log analytics, you have to create a workspace. Workspace is a storage where all the data sources that you are adding with it will store their logs here. And finally, once you have all the logs, you can run the query and you can fetch each and every details of a particular error or with a particular logs. Okay, you can you can join multiple log entries or log table, and you can provide a complex output also. That analytical workspace is supporting it. Okay, like SQL, we can also join it or join multiple table of logs and produce a complex output. Connected data source can be Azure, can be on-prem. If it is on-prem, then you should have a SCOM available in your on-prem. Otherwise, you cannot fetch on-prem based data. You can push the agent to the third party cloud area also, like maybe AWS. Though I didn't use this one, I didn't practice it. But as per theory, yes, you can push the agent to the third-party cloud-based area in a cloud-based VM, and you can get the details from that area also. So this is called workspace analytical workspace or OMS workspace. Query. This query is looks like very complicated, but audience, it is not like the same. If you remember, in SQL we have a query like select star from uh, employee ID. Select star, that means what you need to select and display and from which table. Same thing, heartbeat is a table, and summarize, count, these are the command you can say, like our select. So select is we can say project in analytical workspace. So the way it is writing, it is simple like your SQL query or normal uh, WMI based query also, select star from table name. So the heartbeat is a table name here. Okay. And rest of the thing, summarize count is actually give you the summarization value, and you can count or decount the computer IP address by particular conditions. You can say there is a conditions, time generated 1 hour. Okay. So upcoming 1 hour whatever, or sorry, before 1 hour whatever computer IP address was running, so you can get it here. So this is the syntax, very simple syntax. Top of it, the every syntax, there is a table name that is showing in the top, and then rest of the things is your star, select, union. These are the things, means the operations that you have to perform with the table. So network watcher, before we go for the network watcher, let me go to the analytical workspace and check it. It is done. Now I can go to the Prod MS workspace. and there is an option called logs. Audience, don't think that once you add the virtual machine or any data service or any data source with the log analytics workspace, it is fetching the log at the same time. No, to fetch the log, it will take time. It's not like that you add it now and you will get the answer now only. Absolutely not. You have to wait for a while to fetch all the details related the scope you have added there. Okay. So there is some predefined or the sample commandlets available with the computer. So you just run it to understand that how does it work. So now there is no result found because I just add the virtual machine. No information is yet available in the log space. Once available, if you run this particular query, you will get the heartbeat informations. Okay, how much it has been sent or received, everything. So there is a predefined some uh, code has been written through which you can run it. Otherwise, you can run it by your own. For example, like if I go to alert, you have created the alert, right? So this is the table name and these are the attributes name. You can choose. For example, see, I made the table name here and I say project means select. What are the attributes I have? Alert name, alert name, comma, alert ID, alert ID. Okay, so
It's
whatever.
due to spelling mistake it is not taking alert A extra in between.
Okay, okay, okay. So you can run it. Okay. So by this way, you can select the table and you can find the details here. But as I told you, don't expect that you add the data source here and you will get the response at the same time. You have to wait. It will take time to fetch all the details and then you can, if you execute the queries, you will get the answer here. Okay. So by this way, I'm just showing that how to run the query. It is not like that you can't do so. It's very simple. You can run anywhere, anytime. Okay. So yeah. This is the activity log that you can integrate here if you wish. Like virtual machine, also you can integrate your activity log. That would be also helpful. You can using single console, you can see the activity log details as well as the OMS details. Got it. So this is called uh, analytical workspace. So analytical workspace overall, the idea of it, it will store the data, but the data is not visible normally. You cannot see the data just scrolling down and see. Nah, you can see the data once you run the query. So you have to understand the query. The name of the query is called Custo Query Language, KQL, Custo Query Language. Okay. The basic structure of the Custo Query language is like a SQL and PowerShell also. It is mixing up. So if you know the class, if you know the structure of the command, okay, or the query, it would be very easy to run the query and get your information here in the output. You can join the multiple tables and produce the complex output. Okay, so this is called on log analytics workspace. Or else you can you just practice with the sample queries if you have, if you need, like related with data usage, history, computer availability. So based on that, some example queries there. Otherwise you can run your own query. Once you understand the basic syntax of the analytical workspace, you can run it by your own. There would be no problem. Network watcher, lesson 4. Audience, network watcher is another monitoring tool. It is just used for the networking purpose. It is not monitoring any data or something. It is only monitoring the networking activity, like your next hop, your IP flow, whether you are able to reach a particular destination or not, whether your destination is reached to you or not. So those kind of activity you can do with the network watcher. So network watcher is solely applicable for the uh, network. It is not used for other purpose. So we will see network watcher, IP flow verify, next hop type, effective rules, VPN troubleshoot, packet capture, okay, connection troubleshooting, NSG flow log, monitoring topology. Let's see. So before we go for the slide, audience, let me open the portal and show you from there. So if you just write network watcher.
Yes, I can able to hear you.
Sorry, audience, I just lost my connection because in Delhi now, I think there is a heavy raining will start. So that's why the outside of my room is dark now. Okay. That's why somehow my network got disconnected. Sorry for the disturbance, audience. So where I was in network watcher. Yes. So network watcher is a networking monitoring tool actually. So if you click on topology, you can see the basic topology area of your subscription, you can say. Wait for a while. You can choose the subscription or resource group, and based on that, the topology will be showing. So this topology is very much helpful for us to understand the infrastructure of our present in our Azure environment. So first it will be refreshing, then it will ask me to choose the resource group, and now it is creating the topology map. See, this is the topology map I have. I have application gateway subnet and uh, VNet subnet. We have there is multiple subnet, K8 Kubernetes cluster subnet. There is a virtual machine associated. There is NSG, network security group is there. Okay, there is a virtual network gateway, VPN gateway. There is a user defined routing has been updated. There is a spoke VM in appeared. So the entire topology has been showing here. Okay, with hub VNet 1, all the connectivity with the VNet 1 with all setup, you can see here. So this is very useful actually. If you want to really know that how your topology, okay, related with any specific details, any specific informations like storage group, resource group and all, you can refer this one. So there is a load balancer. Load balancer back pool, load balancer pool is there. This is the public load balancer, which is providing the load balancing. Okay. Now you can go to the connection monitor. You can check the connection monitor option. So for connection monitoring option, I have to select the virtual machine actually. Okay. So connection monitor 1, choose your virtual machine. I have many virtual machine available like this one. This is the destination virtual machine. This is source virtual machine. This is destination virtual machine like this one. Okay, that should not be in running state. Okay, anyway, uh, www.google.com. Okay, I just mentioned the FQDN and port number, let's say 443. Okay, I just try to have it. While it is creating, we can navigate the other options which is available with the network watcher. So let me make it duplicate. Hello, audience, can you hear me now?
Yes, Sujit, I can hear you.
Oh man, power disconnect. Uh, there is a power disconnect in my locality due to the heavy rain and wind. There is some kind of storm is happening outside. That's why, and I lost the internet connectivity. Sorry for the
Are you in
disturbance,
Pune,
audience. I'm
Sujit?
using my hotspot. Huh?
Are you in Pune?
Hello? No, I'm
Yeah,
in Delhi.
Delhi. Acha, here also we have thunder like rains in some area.